At first I wanted to be a type of scientist that wanted to do all these things that weren't possible in science, because as my chemistry teacher told me, and it was a big downer, and then I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna go to film, because I can make anything happen in film. So there you go. So I switched from science into the field of filmmaking, and really I was everything when I first started. I was the camera op, I was the actor, I was the producer, I was getting in there and making the calls. That was my strength, communicating what I wanted to an actor, so I naturally, directing is the route I like to do, and plus I love telling a good story.
How's that process been for you to learn how to tell stories?
Go back to, Plato and Socrates and all these classical foundations of storytelling. It's almost the ultimate work of art, because you have to incorporate so many factors into one little frame and make it all work together to create such a fantastic piece.
So come on, hit me before I lose my nerve.
Fight Club, if you ever seen the movie Fight Club.
I actually watched it again 2 weeks ago.
Oh really? So it's real fresh in your brain.
Real fresh.
It's such a great, because you go back and you analyze it, and really it has a lot of elements of color, of composition, of writing that build into it, and of course you throw the acting in there along with the music. It all leads to a large crescendo. Film has always started off with storylines, right? But now we're taking the idea of people who maybe not fall in love with the story, but more of the character. And the DC and Marvel cinematic universes are great examples of that, because no one goes into a Marvel movie or expecting there to be a great story. They go in there to find the great actors, Robert Downey Jr., all these characters, and how they react against each other.
Yes.
Because a lot of people's argument for why they don't like Marvel movies is because there is no story. But that's almost their strong suit, because they don't create stories, they create people that create their own story. On television, that's also a large thing that's happening now with a lot of the superheroes like the Arrow or the Flash. They're characters that kind of build upon themselves. Or if you ever seen the TV show Sherlock, everyone knows the story of Sherlock Holmes, but it's the particular characters that distinguish each one, so that you know that they're different, and you get attached to these characters, not so much about what's happening, but what's the character. And that a character needs more than just words on a page. They need identity, and that's especially hard for a directing emphasis like myself. You have to understand your character before the actor even gets the paper.
I think it's interesting, because every time I see you, man, it's like I always see you in front of the camera.
A lot of great directors were actors. You got Ron Howard, you got Mel Gibson, and what they do is they understand the process that an actor has to go through and to make it believable. But I love when Mel Gibson gets in front of the camera, because it's his space. You can take a whole film or a whole director's style and spend 2 months just trying to analyze it and try to see if you can recreate it. There's a fantastic director, Stanley Kubrick, who did The Shining, Full Metal Jacket. He is very, the infamous 2001. He's infamous for putting so much depth in his films with composition, with certain things in his film. And you don't catch it at first, it's all subconscious, but you can literally spend, I've spent literally 2 months just breaking down The Shining and the elements that he used to subconsciously tell that story, and then the not only to tell a straight up storyline, but also a subtext on top of a subtext on top of a subtext, and that's a powerful thing a director can do.
I feel like you have a certain vision, and what is that vision like for you? How do you expect to make yourself stand above other directors?
Really focus on yourself first, because if you don't have a solid foundation as what you like or what you know or what you think you like, if you don't have your solid foundation of who you are, you will be modified by what the industry and this place we call Hollywood into what to think instead of how to think. Successful people do what unsuccessful people won't. I love it personally when people say I can't do something. Filmmakers, and they take a lot of things personally, and which really stops their growth whenever someone gives them criticism or doesn't like their stuff, they take it real personally and think, oh, well, then wrong, and they never grow from that. And it's not changing what you do, it's more of noticing things you've never seen before.
I feel like it's an ever-growing process.
It's ever, and it won't stop. The day it stops is the day Hollywood gets shut down or the internet explodes.
Would you see yourself later in the TV land or the movie land?
I have things. I write I have treatments and lookbooks and stuff of TV shows that I want to do, and films that I want to do. So I definitely find that there's this crossover that's going to happen.
Well, we really appreciate having you. It's awesome seeing you on campus. It's awesome sitting down and talking to you one-on-one. Thank you for giving us your time.
No problem, bro.
And this is Austin Evanson signing out, and
Mitchell Carter.
all right, we'll see you next time on our Student Spotlight.